the importance of staying strong, even in the most difficult of times. Furthermore, the Holy Quran emphasizes justice and compassion. It commands us to stand up for the oppressed and to speak out against injustice. In Surah Mubarakah An-Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلووا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا. If I want to have a short translation, it says, all believers stand firm for justice as witness for Allah, even if it is against yourself, your parents, or close relatives. Be they rich or poor, Allah is best to ensure their interests. So do not let your desire cause you to deviate from justice. If you distort the testimony or refuse to give it, then know that Allah is certainly all aware of what you do. This message is clear. We must always be on the side of justice, protecting the rights of the weak and supporting those who are suffering. My brothers and sisters, today we see the suffering of many around the world, particularly our brothers and sisters in Palestine and Lebanon. The people of Gaza endure great hardship, facing genocide and brutality. Our Palestinian and Lebanese brothers and sisters are strong and steadfast, but they need our support and solidarity. As Muslims, it is our duty to raise our voices for them and to do whatever we can to support them. In standing with them, we uphold the teachings of the Quran and the examples of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who always defended the oppressed and called for justice. At the same time, let us remember that the Quran teaches us to seek peace and to approach all matters with wisdom. The true victory, as the Quran reminds us, lies not just in achieving material success, but in winning the favor of Allah through patience, humility, and righteous action. It reminds us to seek peaceful solution whenever possible, but to stand firm in all principles. As I conclude, I ask each one of us here today to think deeply about our role in this world. How can we live the values of the Quran? How can we live, of course? How can we embody its teachings? Let us remember that our unity is our greatest strength. When we are united, we can overcome any obstacles, support each other, and build a better world for future generations. We are one ummah, connected by our faith in Allah and the guidance of His holy book. By following the Quran and working together, we can overcome the challenges we face and build a strong, more justice society. Let us keep our hearts close to the Quran and our minds open to its wisdom. Let us be there for our fellow Muslims and for all those who are oppressed. And let us, in everything we do, strive, and let us, in everything we do, strive to bring the message of peace, unity, and justice that Quran teaches us. May Allah bless you all, protect our ummah, and guide us always on the path of righteousness. Dear brothers and sisters, I want to emphasize by the condition in the Palestine and in Gaza, in Lebanon these days, by one word. The word The Western world officially denied the international law. The Western world officially denied the international law and rights of Palestinians in Gaza and also in Lebanon. They returned to the colonial period. They returned to the colonial period. By Zionist regime, Westerners, by Zionist regime are only talking with gun, with bullets, screaming. You know, they are killing people in thousands, in 10,000s, but from the other side they are screaming and shouting. And it returns, the world currently returns by Westerners to its wide way to talk, unfortunately. It is barbaric way of talking to the people in the world. In this so-called modern era, unfortunately. Thank you so much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please let us don't forget about Palestine and Gaza and Lebanon. Thank you so much. Sorry, I should ask Dr. Raisua, the floor is yours. Please let us have your speech. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: ورتل القرآن ترتيلا. ويقول الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم: خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. صدق الرسول عليه أفضل الصلوات وأتم التسليم. His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Uganda, my respected brother, the cultural attaché of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the principal of Al-Mustafa College, my respected brother, Sheikh Abdul Karim Kalisa, who is here to represent my brother, my elder brother by 1 year. He used to be 1 year old than me. Distinguished guests, distinguished scholars and trainers who are here, our respected students, and especially the competitors in this noble task of the Holy Quran. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I'm a bit emotional, I don't know why. And I don't know whether I'll come out the way I used to come out. Firstly, His Eminence, the Mufti of Uganda, received your invitation while he was abroad. He had gone to Kenya to attend the African Religious Leaders Conference, which was for 4 days in Nairobi, and he's a co-chair. He was participating in that meeting as a chair. When he saw the invitation on his return, which was yesterday, he actually invited me. And he told me, you know, Sheikh, if it hadn't changed, I would be traveling again today. But as you know, we lost a prominent Sheikh Sheikh Anas Simba, and he said my travel has been postponed by 1 day, which was yesterday, and therefore he requested me that I represent him. So today don't look at me as Sheikh Waiswa. So this is the Mufti himself, because he had accepted the invitation to be here, but because of those strains. Today, now as we talk, he's in Kalisizo to pay condolences to the deceased family, and then as he come back from there, he's traveling abroad. So that's why he asked me to present him. Ideally, when we were discussing that, I forgot one thing to remind him, because we have a Mugole. I think you know the Mugole now. The Mugole is a bride, a groom and a bride. We have the new second deputy mufti, Dr. Sheikh Muhammad Harun Hafid of Kenya, who is a very, very specialist in the area of Quran, especially in memorization globally. And he participates in a number of these events worldly. I could have suggested to the Mufti to nominate him to be here, because he would be better suitable than me to this function. But ideally, as I was telling you that I'm a bit emotional today, there are many reasons, and I don't want to divert, the goals of this meeting and things like that. But I'll tell you a bit about emotions. I think the principal said right, that if we were to have something to talk about today, it would not have been different from the ongoing situation in Palestine, Lebanon, and the Islamic Republic of Iran of recent. It's not a simple affair, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very harming one, and I'm glad that you are concerned by collecting a few little that you have to send to those people, because it's not only words that work, it is the action. Because as we talk now, bombardments are ongoing, killing innocent people. And unfortunately, the bigger majority of us are silent. And it's only a few that have come up to really engage the enemy. So that is one. It makes me emotional. The second, whenever we have been here, we usually come with Professor Dr. Badru Katelega. I always find, either he finds me or I find him here. But as we talk, he is very sick and confided. You cannot reach him. That's the unfortunate bit. So I think we shall need to observe a prayer for him, and not only for him, but since the event of awarding Dr. Kalisa has come also, we shall also pray for him. And then we have to pray for the ongoing aggression that is going on in Palestine and Lebanon, and also now extended to Islamic Republic of Iran. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are sure that An-Nasr, God's rescue, is with us, inshallah. Whatever happens, we shall be the winner. It is true, they have returned to colonialism, but they have been hiding. They have never left that one. They have been hiddenly ruling us from there, determining each and everything. That's their nature. They have not just returned. They have been continuing with aggressions and also misappropriation of properties from each and every country. You see, they have a trend. They can cause a lie in order to bombard a certain country. You know very well the history. And steal its wealth. They have done it so much in the Muslim world. But it's now that they have come to their climax. And we are sure the Nasr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Kareem, is very near. Because now, even the non-Muslims have denounced them, have clearly come out to denounce them. So that's one other issue that actually makes me emotional. So we shall have to recite that prayer all together at the end of my speech. Regarding the Holy Quran, I would like to congratulate you, Al-Mustafa College, for having this annual event of the Quran. On your calendar, you have it, and then you have to do it. That's very important. We are actually organizing another one when the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council is celebrating 50 years plus. We are now 50 years old, 52 years old. And then we are celebrating in December that memorial start of the Supreme Council. But with that event, there will be a Council of Scholars Conference, which will come from all the world. And I will use this opportunity to enlighten my brother, the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, to help us to identify those whom we'll be able to invite to be in the presence of that meeting, inshallah, from the Islamic Republic of Iran. And then we shall have the Quranic competition. I beg that the competitors who have been participating from here should join automatically the competition that's being organized, because it will be more at a national level, inshallah. So that meeting is not very far from us, because we are now in November, and it will be in December. I think 1 month, a period of 1 month. So we are inviting you all that we celebrate our Islam and we get to know our present, current situation. And you see, if you do not know this, you will not forge a strategy forward. You will not have a plan for the future. But there are reasons to celebrate. There are some bit of, achievements that have been made by several of our, predecessors, our parents. We talk of Dr. Kalisa. That is right. Because what else should he have done? He attained all the knowledge, and he got the opportunity to rise up. But how about our father, Abdul Kalisa? These are silent heroes of Islam in this country. For them, they didn't see the blackboard. That they persevered, they worked hard to promote Islam. Do you know how he brought Anas Kalisa to study Islam here to Kampala? He was a trucker driver. You see? And bringing Anas Kalisa did not even have money to put him into a boarding school. He had to look for somebody to host him, or to co-opt him as a child. And that was none but Sheikh Abdul Bayt Kamil. And he handed over to him. Now, such a person, it was near to the colonial time, and the aggression of colonial on Islam in particular. And these people had no salaries. They were not as rich. But actually, they saw it hard to promote Islam through personal efforts. These are silent heroes. Because for us, we were children, we didn't know that they gave us a good beginning and impacted on our lives. I traveled to Saudi Arabia to study when I was 14 years old. 14 years. And because of Quran. Because a visitor came to our school, down there in the village, you can't call it a school even. And then they asked me to open the ceremony by recitation of the Quran, and the guest was amazed. He said, where did he study this Quran from? And he was right, because at that time, in the early 60s, we never had instructors from foreign countries to teach us the Quran. We had it from our traditional Bawalimu and things like that. But then, for me, I was inspired by listening to the Quran on radio, Cairo. They have a channel for Quran. And my father bought a very big radio, which every evening between Asr and Maghrib could put on the Quran, and I used to learn the Quran from there. So when I recited, I obtained a scholarship to go to Medina. When I was 14 years old, you can imagine. So this Quran is not a simple thing. It raises you in rank, not only in the heaven, but even on earth. You remember the story where the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was struggling after the Battle of Uhud to cover the dead with a piece of cloth. And then he asked, who of these one is a Hafiz al-Quran? Then they could show him, then he could turn the cloth to that one. Meaning that this one is higher than the others, and yet they are all shuhada. They are all have passed on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even in the world, the one who possesses the Quran is of high rank. Maybe it can be himself or herself, to demote her himself. Because you may have the Quran and engage yourself into evil practices. Or engage yourself in things that are abnormal. Then it's yourself to demote yourself from the Quran. Otherwise, the Quran lifts us in rank. It lifts you in rank. Therefore, when I come to a function like this one, I really feel emotional, because it is the Quran that raised me up. Kalisa was Miwaise, Bilal Wise. And for them, they had first received the first team of the scholars that came from Islamic University of Medina to teach there. For us, we have never. There in the village. So for them, they were better off. But incidentally, I went to Medina before him, and before Bakr Musoke. I was the second to Dr. Badruddin. I went to Sheikh Mahmoud Warkaka. We were the second to go there. So when we reached there, our certificates were not recognized. We were holding Thanawi certificate, but they did not recognize them. So they pushed us down to junior school. So we started from junior school to higher level and then to university. But we struggled to see to it that our certificates of Uganda be recognized, and we succeeded. But when the decree came, it did not concern us. It concerned those who come after. So Kalisa came after. And when they came after, they joined the university straight, because we had struggled to make our certificates recognized there. And that's why he graduated before me, because for us we were there down. And incidentally, Kalisa came when they had been introduced to sexual education, at least to senior 4 level, something like that. But me, I had gone when I have not done PLE. Even PLE was not there by that time. So when I reached there, when they came, I saw them, they were advanced, and then I was asking myself, what can I do? You see? Incidentally, Allah guided me. I got a company of a friend from Tanzania who had the same feeling, and he had joined by correspondence the University of Oxford, studying courses from there. Then he told me, no, you can do this. You write to them, they will send a test to you, and they will certainly put you on track. And that's what I did. So I used to receive my instructions from there weekly, and you return them. And then possibly you reserve some little money that you get. They used to give us allowance beyond the what? Food and whatever. And you save that money for 2 years so that you are able to go there for face-to-face. That's how I won the war, to have a balanced way of education. Because by the time I graduated from Medina, I had already obtained a diploma in Oxford University. So when I came back here, amazingly, we went to do the masters together with Dr. Kalisa, together with Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubarak, together with Sheikh Abubakar Musoke, but he dropped. And then Brother Abdul Wali, the Somali, the one who started Tawheed. We did it together. And I want to acknowledge that we benefited a lot from the journals, Islamic journals of Islamic Republic of Iran, because they are the only source that could come with theology and science equally presented on issues of Islam. We benefited quite a lot from those ones. And actually, we performed high at the university. So that's a bit of our history with Dr. Kalisa, because he's the one that we are celebrating today. And I thank you for having chosen him for that, because we need to recognize the best in our brothers' deeds, so that we build on them and we continue to follow it. So I beg to congratulate you, especially those who have competed in this, and you are all winners. I was excited by the reciting of our sister here. She did it so well. Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah bless you and enable you to advance further. Even the others I have not listened to, maybe they are better, but alhamdulillah, that is very beautiful. We need to do the best to dedicate ourselves to the Quran. Alhamdulillah, in my family I have over 4 persons who are Hafiz al-Quran. And the 2 of them are female and 2 are boys. My firstborn is a lady, and she's a Hafiz al-Quran. And now she's living in UK, and she's a Da'iyah. Because of that Quran, She has raised the ranks. Okay? So we need to dedicate ourselves to this holy book. And I thank you that you have devoted this day for that holy book. May Allah reward you abundantly. I would wish us to say the prayers for the ongoing aggression on our brothers and sisters, and also for Professor Badu Katerega and Dr. Anas Kalisa and many of our deceased, because all of them, especially our parents, are gone, and our dear friends that with whom we have been sharing similar concerns and devotion to the respect of, raising the deen. They are all there. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم ونفوض أمرنا إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد نفوض أمرنا إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد نفوض أمرنا إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد نفوض أمرنا إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد قل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلنا وهو رب العرش العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث لا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا ولا إلى الناس طرفة عين فنضل وأصلح لنا شأننا كله اللهم انصر إخواننا المضطهدين المقتلين في فلسطين وغيره اللهم انصرهم وآزرهم اللهم شتت شمل أعدائهم اللهم مزق شمل أعدائهم اللهم بدد شمل أعدائهم اللهم زلزل أقدامهم وطيرانهم اللهم رد كيدهم على أنفسهم اللهم انصرنا عليهم اللهم انصرنا عليهم اللهم انصرنا عليهم ولا تردنا خائبين اللهم عفوك نرجو يا رب العالمين اللهم احفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ونعوذ بك ربنا أن نغتال من تحتنا اللهم ربنا اصرف عنا الأذى والوباء والمحن والزلازل والفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن ربنا اصرف عنا السوء كيف شئت ومتى شئت برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين